2023 at 5:01 p.m. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl.
He's excused.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember Alarcon.
Here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, communications from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Thank you. Communication from the public and petitions.
Number 1, notice of claim from Justin Krastowski. We got it. 516 Leopard Street for damages done to his right front tire allegedly due to a sewer pipe near the entrance of his driveway.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none. Number 2.
Notice of claim from Gladys Lockett of 8 East Pine Street for damages caused to her vehicle allegedly due to being sideswiped by a City of Dunkirk ambulance.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none. Number 3.
Notice of claim from Thomas Tarnowski of 10902 South Roberts Road for damages caused to his front tire and rim allegedly due to deteriorating sewer drain on Townsend Street.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none. Number 4.
Number 4, loudspeaker permit request from Jason Schranz on behalf of Bart's Cove Marina to use amp speakers and microphones for live bands from May 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2023 from 1 p.m. until 1 a.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none. Reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilwoman?
No.
Councilman?
Randy, thanks for taking care of one of the issues. I like it.
Okay. Councilwoman Nichols?
No, not here.
All right, I got nothing. Unfinished business.
None, sir.
Pre-filed resolution 18.
Resolution accepting donation for police investigative services.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none. New business.
None, sir.
Can I have a motion for adjournment? Item Nichols with a second by Bomano.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember Alarcon.
Aye. Adjourned. Okay, can I call to order the public hearing for the City of Dunkirk CDBG Public Wi-Fi Hotspot and Solar Cellular Device Charging Station Installation Project?
Thanks. Just as a requirement for this grant, we have to do a second public hearing at the end of the grant. These are available online, on the website, down in the clerk's office, so a lot of you have seen it, so I won't go on in detail. There are comment cards and sign-in sheets up here. The public can comment on this project till midnight on Friday the 24th. And after that, we'll take all the comments and send everything on to OCR. So just a brief recap of the project. So this is something, it's through OCR, so we have our CDBG allocation for our community entitlement program. On top of the CDBG, OCR, Office of Homes and Community Renewal, is the actual office that allocated the funds out of the CARES Act program for 2020. A lot to do with COVID and being outdoors. We put an application in back in July, did our first public hearing then for the project, and it was to install Wi-Fi hotspot solar charging stations at the point, the pier, and at Lake Park. And then just according to what we needed to do, we did the first public hearing back in July. People could comment to see if they wanted us to do anything different in our application, put in our submittal, got the funding, and now we're completing our second public hearing. So project accomplishments, we installed the Wi-Fi hotspots, repeaters. You've probably seen them down there at Wright Park and Point Branch. So now the entire parks are open for free public Wi-Fi. So the idea behind that is the public could go down there, have free access to Wi-Fi. Again, in the event that there's ever another, if we ever have to go, remote again, people could have access to schoolwork and job applications and things like that. And then the solar charging stations, we had 2 put in at Point Bratchet, 1 at the Dunkirk Pier, 1 at the boardwalk, and 2 at Wright Park. So those those are solar charging stations. You can plug in your phone, your laptop, charge it up in case you needed to do that while you were down there and using the free Wi-Fi. So the benefits, we have 12,156 residents that will benefit from that. That's the population of the city. And sorry, just making sure that I've got everything here. So the total project that was awarded from OCR was $103,500. You can see what we did with that. We installed Wi-Fi repeaters, the equipment, stations, and then we also have a 5-year service plan to supply the Wi-Fi down at the point in Wright Park. So the actual project cost at the end of the day was $104,147.11. So it was about a $600 commitment from the city for that. And the benefits that, as I explained, free public Wi-Fi for citizens to enjoy, and also charging up their devices. And then I added some pictures of the locations of where the repeaters are at the point in Wright Park, and the solar charging stations, and our great DPW crew installing those. And lastly, if anybody from the public wants to comment, you have up to 3 minutes if you'd like to comment on anything on the project. If you don't want to publicly comment now, you can do a comment card or send me an email. Anything from the public, questions, anything on the project?
Are there any passwords for this thing?
Nope. It's open, just go down, pull it up on your phone, and you can connect right now.
Type in NOP.
I'm going to put that in minutes, don't I? So, seeing that we don't have any comments from the public, we can close the hearing.
Can I have a motion to close, please? And Nichols, can I have a second? Council, good? Yeah, okay. Let's call to order the regular meeting for March 21st, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl.
He's excused.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, communications, certification of the prior meeting.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, March 7th, 2023 was presented to the mayor on Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect, and witness whereof I have hereto set my hand and the seal of the City of Dunkirk, New York, this 21st day of March, 2023.
Can I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes? So moved. I have Councilwoman Nichols with a second, and by Councilwoman Laskoviac.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Reading of the privilege of the floor regulations.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case that individual shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing a group who shall be limited to 5 minutes. When recognized, please stand and state your name and address. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining such time limits, and the councilman at large may determine in his discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. Councilman at large D'Amico shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or are slanderous or non-germane to any action taken or contemplated by council. The time limit specified above shall be strictly adhered to, except that a speaker may be allowed to complete a statement or thought started before such time has expired.
Privilege of the floor is now open. If anyone please like to speak, state your name and your address.
Hi, my name's Tom Logan. I've got a little bit of a problem with the way the city council's set up. I notified Mr. Stoyl that I had a problem with the way it is taken care of, and he told me, and this was months ago, that he was going to take and, look into it, but they had a meeting that night and he couldn't. And he said he'd bring it up the next meeting, which he never did. So I went to see the councilman at large, and the only thing I got out of the councilman at large is the fact that I know he wasn't in the military, okay? I walk in his freaking small room over there. He's got his feet up on the desk, his hands behind his head like this, and he wouldn't look at me or basically talk to me. And I wanted to slap him because if he was in the military, when he got his bearings back, he would have got up, sat down with his feet firmly planted, and looked at me like an adult.
Okay.
Well, anyhow, nothing
all right.
happened.
No. Okay, sir,
And
thank you.
what's going on with me is I graduated in Vernonia 1969.
Mr. Logan, Mr. Logan, I'm sorry, you need to stop, sir. You're out of order, Mr. Logan. I'm going to need you to ask to stop, please.
Mr. Logan, Mike Bobstein. Yeah, this is reserved, this opportunity to speak to the council is reserved for
things that are on the agenda. I would be happy to talk with you outside about the concerns that you have. I know we've talked on the phone, and I did provide you with that information.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
Yeah, so if it'd be all right, can I talk to you out there? And, you know, because maybe some other folks want to talk about things that are on the agenda.
Well, all I
would
want
that be okay?
to do is it's not right taking and having everybody vote for all the freaking districts, because you have so many people that are going from pub to pub, drinks, and I don't care. God Almighty, you want to go after work and have a few drinks, fine. But my problem is they're
Chief, can you
taking and
shut it
they're
down?
actually changing the vote.
Okay, sir, you're out of order.
I'm glad you're here.
I would not have another opportunity.
Would anyone else like to publicly comment on anything on the agenda? Going once? Twice? 3 times. Privilege of the floor is now closed.
Thank God.
Communication from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to request as a respect for the town of Dunkirk Supervisor Richard Pearl, who passed away, 30 seconds, moment of silence.
Absolutely, sure.
That's all I have. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, communication from the public and petitions.
Notice of claim from Justin Krastowski, 516 Leopard Street for damages done to his front right tire, allegedly due to sewer pipe near the entrance of his driveway.
Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none, can I have a motion to refer to the law department? I have Councilman Bomano with seconded by Nichols.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto. Aye. Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 2, notice of claim from Gladys Lockett of 8 East Pine Street for damages caused to her vehicle allegedly due to being sideswiped by a City of Dunkirk ambulance.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, can I have a motion to refer to the legal law department? Councilwoman Litskoviak with a second by Councilwoman Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto. Aye. Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 3, notice of claim from Thomas Tarnowski of 10902 South Roberts Road for damages caused to his front tire and rim allegedly due to deteriorating sewer drain on Townsend Street.
Any discussion, council?
Randy, has that sewer drain been repaired on Townsend Street?
No, it will be though.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to refer to the law department?
So moved.
I got a motion by Nichols, a second by Bomano.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto. Aye. Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 4, loudspeaker permit request from Jason Schranz on behalf of Bart's Cove Marina to use amps, speakers, and microphone for live bands from May 1st, 2023 through November 30th, 2023 from 1 p.m. until 1 a.m.
Any discussion, council? Okay, I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approve subject to the appropriate insurances and usual conditions. I have Bomano with a second by Nichols.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto. Aye. Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilwoman Litskoviak.
Yes, I just wanted to let everyone know about the amazing Easter window in the big window of the Stearns Building, which is right next to City Hall. It's especially incredible to see lit at night, and thank you, Carol and Patty of City Hall. That's all.
Thank you. Councilman Bomano.
Randy, Brigham Road from 2nd Street all the way down up to 4th Street. Some work being done, drainage, water lines, something. I see a fire hydrant in there.
Yeah, we did some cleaning of the drains there, and at the intersection of 2nd and Brigham was a complete reconstruction of the main water line arteries. We put in 3 new valves there in case we have to isolate them again, so that was part of that project. It's a county road, so we did most of the work ourselves, but we're also interfacing with the county.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And one announcement, there will be a finance meeting Tuesday, April 4th, 4 p.m. in the mayor's conference room. Yes, that's the night of the next meeting also.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Nichols?
Okay. It's if you're down by the boardwalk, we have our city crews created a signage down there for carry-out parking only, so that if you've pre-ordered food, you can pull into that parking space and you don't have to walk a mile and a half to get your food. So it's the first, as you drive in, the first parking space there will be for carry-outs. So you can run in and get your food. After reading a few of the communications from the public, I have a great concern on these basketball hoops that are left overnight on the street, and I know the chief is over there. I don't know if anything can be done to get them off the street, make the people that have them being held responsible.
I'll have the afternoon lieutenant look at that, Councilwoman. We run into that every year. We'll track the parents out, tell them they have to move them, put them back out, and have a talk with the kids about making sure they stay on track.
Thank you. Thank you. Randy, I also coming over town today on Brigham Road, between the Viaduct and Lucas Avenue, that water flow there. Did we ever find out what the cause of that was?
Yes. When the Superfund's Altec site was demolished on the Lucas Avenue side of the railroad, there was a drain that's not connected up to the top of the hill. Once we reconnect that water that flows off of that site, just its drainage, and it makes its way onto the road, and there's a receiver up there if we could repipe it. We tried to do it last year, but it was full of poison ivy and couldn't get up there to do it. So it's not our pipe, but we can go in there and do that and get that off the road. I'd like to do that.
Is it, especially when it freezes, it's a little slippery on that corner.
Exactly. It's drainage water. It's not a water line leak. It's drainage that's running through that property.
The next question is, when I was out this weekend visiting people, I had a concern on the many potholes in the city of Dunkirk. And everybody seems to think that they have the answer on coal patch or what. and if they could just do that. Just, would you please, and I know we've had this discussion numerous times on the pros and the cons of cold patch.
Sure. Even though we've had, knock on wood, relatively light snow in the winter, the freezing and thaw and wet cycles have caused the potholes to be very numerous this year. All it takes is a little bit of water to get in and then freeze, and those of us that are old enough to remember a milk bottle left outside, it'll burst the bottle. So if the pressure of freezing water could probably lift a tank, so it takes apart our roads. And so we have more than usual, and we're putting cold patch in now because the hot plant doesn't open till the first part of April. The hot patch is the permanent patch that we can then pave over and make it all smooth. Cold patch only lasts about 2 weeks. So if people see a big, dangerous pothole, call it into 366-4411. We'll put some cold patch in, but chances are we'll have to address that with a hot patch again in a couple of weeks when the plant opens up. So that's pretty much the difference. Is cold patch pretty much gets you by for the winter time best you can until the hot plant opens up again in April.
And the last question I have, and I know Judge isn't here, we've had the discussion on, my concern was Doty Street repaving, and Judge's was for Newton Street.
Yes. The state has special funding for federal aid highways, and because Newton Street and Doty Street are truck access routes and eligible for federal aid funding like West 4th Street was a number of years ago, those can be reconstructed without city funds by using federal funds, but it takes a process that engineering technician Andy Bone has already started. So we hope to be able to do curbs and all new ramps, driveway ramps and sidewalks for the full length of Newton Street and for the full length of Doty Street. That'll be a multi-year application and then a multi-year construction, but it's in the works. And eventually Doty Street and Newton Street will look like West 4th that was reconstructed a number of years ago.
Thank you. And I have, I don't know if, Michael, if you want to come back up and And I don't know where to go with this, and I talked with Kate, our paralegal today, and she said I might want to address you tonight or the chief of what we can do, and I talked to Randy about it. People not putting their trash out the way they're supposed to be, it's making our city look terrible. It's clogging up our receivers. We're getting complaints that the water's not flowing, but it's because when they put their trash out, they're just throwing it out. It's not bagged, it's not barreled, it's not anything. Is there anything we can do as a city to enforce it? Because it's on our curbside calendar, the proper way to get rid of their weekly trash. It's an eyesore, plus we don't have outside custodial service that's going to go around sweeping up their stuff, so I don't know where to go, especially with the high winds that we've been having of late. So I don't know. If you want to do some research, you want to address it here, you've got
Thanks, Councilmember Nichols. I think what I'd do is I'd probably want to talk with Mr. Woodbury and also the mayor. I mean, certainly there's things that can be done. I think one of the first things I might recommend, though, would be, I know that we provide that information now, but there may be some other things that we could be doing that would be helpful just on a notice basis again, so that folks are certainly aware of what's necessary, and then look at some other things as well. But I think that education piece really could be valuable again, to remind people that this is what's most appropriate and this is what we need, and we take pride in where we live in our city. But I'll talk to the mayor and also Mr. Woodbury.
And I think if we try to stress the importance of recycling, because there's so many milk containers flying around the city in the wind, or pizza boxes, but I know pizza boxes can go in the regular recycling, they cannot go in the cardboard because they're contaminated. And the last question I have is, does anybody have any information of what's going on with the Macaroni building down on Lakeshore Drive? Is there any update on it, Vince?
We're still working with developers. They're trying to put together a plan, a project there. And Mr. Bobstein and I are working directly with them, and our counsel from Dunkirk Industrial Development Agency from Harris Beach, Mr. Bob Murray. And we have, in the past 2 weeks, we've been in direct discussions, and they're trying to make the numbers work and trying to find a way to do that.
Thank you. That's it, Chico.
Thank you. The one thing I want to bring up is on Thursday, the 23rd at 2:30 in the mayor's conference room will be a personnel meeting.
Councilman?
Yes, sir.
Coming up very shortly is one of my most favorite times of the year. April 2nd, we go from daily back to weekly parking on Sunday. So just to remind everyone, we go back to that. Change as close to 5 as you can, and we'll stay that way till November. But I know everybody loves this time of the year, especially me, and we go back to weekly. So just a reminder, we go back to weekly on April 2nd, Sunday.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, unfinished business.
None, sir.
Pre-filed Resolution 18.
Resolution accepting donation for police investigative services.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Number 10, new business.
We have none, sir.
Can I have a motion for adjournment? I have Nichols with a second by Councilwoman Luxkoviac.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, we're adjourned.
Yeah. I think they should have had a moment of silence.